And we're back. Hello, 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 and welcome to my hardcore Supernova Permadeath playthrough. You got the 3 adjectives in again, so that's exciting. Playthrough of the Outer Worlds. In the last episode, we finally, and I do mean finally, made it off of Edgewater. And in this one, we're gonna go to our next little area, actually. So that's exciting. First, though, before we do any of that, let's take a second to level up. Always fun, always exciting. So yeah, you get to hear me ramble about, what option to take for, for 15 minutes straight, which I know is everyone's favorite part. You think we actually just want to keep pushing Sneak a little bit? Yeah. A little bit of nice extra damage. God, there's so much I need to push. We want science for the tinkering costs. We want leadership and determination. We really want to get to 60, but that's going to take a while. 40 for that will be pretty useful, so we'll just push it 3, and then get the ranged up a bit. Yeah, so much to push. So much. So many choices. Alright, so we don't have any of the tier 2 perks available. Yeah, it's still gonna take a while before we get there, so we get to choose another one. That's an interesting little conundrum. I'm telling you right now, it's probably the wrong choice to take Pack Mule, but boy am I considering it. I tell you what, it'd make my life less annoying. Well, no, I think hard to kind of justify it. I mean, resilient... just take the base armor rating. I just think, like, I don't know, is it that big of a deal? I'm not sure, but it might help us keep alive. And the others are more of a convenience thing, like sprint speed, I'm sure would be nice. You know, carrying capacity, vendor prices, all, like, decent stuff that I wouldn't mind in any way, but, you know, we have other priorities, to say the least. Hey, Parvati. Let's take a nap. Good old 6-hour nap. And we're gonna go talk to Max, I think. So that's fun, that's exciting. Oh, and okay, no, we got a few things we're supposed to do. Let's go to the captain's quarters, which we can now open as a little memento.
What you've done with the place. Kitschy collectibles are such a human inclination.
There's the holographic shroud. And here's a bin we can store stuff in. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. We're actually going to keep this because we're going to bring Max around and he's going to put that on pretty soon. Also, just so many arguments that I should be using these. And really just prepping a bunch. I mean, that's the thing. That's one of the arguments for keeping a bunch of the assault rifles I got. I could prep a bunch to do different things. But we'll keep with that for now, because I think that'll just suit our purposes for the time being. Yeah. Dark memories of removing the, the Silver Tongue kit. Whoops. Alright, let's go over this. Messages for Alex Hawthorne. Hawthorne's unread messages. From you, Bedford. Oh, I forgot to mention in my previous message. Silly me, I'm mailing you a copy of my favorite serial, The Space Adventures of Singularity Steel. It's about a dashing space pirate with a heart of, well, steel. It's not exactly board approved, so don't you go showing it around to your spacer buddies. I hope it'll amuse you while you're out adventuring. Any similarities to a certain someone are entirely intentional. Winky face. Winky face. You dumb. Logs. Note to self, remember this later. No, better. Ada, remind me weekly to check this log until I tell you to stop. Yes, I mean continually. No, Ada, not if I'm dead. Why would you even ask me that? Back to my point, I saw in actuality, with my own 2 eyes, a sublimely powerful weapon in Wells's lab, just sitting there for the taking. If the gray hair were to look away or forget about it, maybe, or if I had asked a smidgen more nicely. He called it a shrink ray, but wouldn't let me test that claim after I lost my temper. Said he was inspired to create the thing by the achievements of other scientists who dared to push the boundaries of human knowledge and decency laws. I had heard rumors of fantastical weapons like this one, weapons that pushed the boundaries of the mind and science's cutting edge. But I figured they were just stories, to be honest. Laying eyes on Wells's shrink ray firsthand is enough to make a fellow wonder if there's more to the rumors. More to be had. Alex Hawthorne. Last time I got sloshed, I was imbibing at the Lost Hope on the Groundbreaker. Look, Udome was really free with the drinks. He seems like an okay fellow. There's Udome. There's the fan. I shamelessly but subtly eavesdropped on two Mardets yammering on about a mad scientist some years back who claimed he'd made a huge discovery that would change the fate of the colony. Like none of us have heard that one before. But here is the good part. The Mardet said the mad scientist kept yelling about the hammer's power, or something similar. A strange weapon with a special power created by a crazy lab coat sure fits the bill. It could be another one of the weapons that inspired Wells. Captain's note. Black market leads. Why won't Wells just give the shrink ray to me? Blah 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 blah. Blast him to the depths of the labyrinth on Tartarus and back. Let the record show I did apologize for shouting him down 5 times. But architect be damned, it's just sitting there, neglected and gathering dust. I should have commandeered it and thanked him without asking permission or breaking expensive equipment when he said it wasn't ready yet and that even if it were, he wouldn't entrust it to someone like me. What does that even mean, I ask? That I'm not trustworthy enough? That I'd use it to wipe out the good, hard-working folks of the colony like some sort of moralist psycho? I'll admit to maintaining some questionable associations, but I follow a strict code of me, myself, and mine. What's not to respect in that? Exactly. Now I have to wait until Wells forgets or thinks he's misplaced it. In the meanwhile, I've been tracking down additional rumors pertaining to others of these science weapons about Halcyon. If gossip holds true, my next step will be to check with the black market merchants on the Groundbreaker and in Fallbrook. Alex Hawthorne. Interesting. Very interesting. Alright, so that's the captain's quarters. We picked up things there. Let's go see if we can find Max. Okay, we can also start this, I suppose. Alright. The SAM unit. Wonder what's up with that. Hello, Max.
By verity, by strength.
Yes,
What
yes.
are we contemplating today?
Yeah, what's your story?
Nothing too out of the ordinary. Just your run-of-the-mill vicar with a violently enthusiastic disposition. That's what my parents called it. I grew up in a pit of a town, much like Edgewater. I was destined to be a laborer like my parents, but I was infected early with a need to solve the equation. My passion didn't sit well with them.
Yeah. Where'd the passion come from?
My parents, ironically. They internalized the precepts of scientism like no one I've ever known. They had a pure faith, a faith that brought joy to them regardless of the situation. I envied that. I wanted that peace. I thought if I became a vicar, I could find it. Or at the very least, find out why I lacked it.
Ah. Yeah, but I mean, if they're such firm believers, they must have been somewhat proud.
They thought I was fighting the plan, should have accepted my lot.
I'm not going to pretend to be
Some
very
people
aware
pursue
of
clergy for power,
the plan.
prestige, but that was not me.
So, that kind of sucks. Yeah, let's further that conversation. I did mention that I'm not very familiar.
The simple version is this. The force which we call the Grand Architect created the universal equation that underlies and defines everything in the universe. Everything flows from the equation, or in layman's terms, the grand plan. Is the Grand Architect a consciousness? A natural force? Did it create the equation on purpose? The answers to these questions don't really matter. The equation, the plan, is all that matters. Contentment is found by accepting one's role in the plan.
Seems like an awfully convenient worldview for disgruntled workers. Yeah. Then everything you do is part of it.
The plan
Even
is not
rallying
one
against the
rigid
plan would
path.
be
There are a variety of multitudes contained within it.
Okay.
Our paths have variance, but we'll end up adhering to it, whether we like it or not.
So rallying against the plan is still
Some
part of the
choices
plan,
make the
so I don't
path
see why your
smoother,
parents are
some
mad at
rougher.
you.
You can even go outside the lines, but the further outside you go,
I assume the further it pushes
it's
you
like
in,
an
yeah.
unbreakable elastic band. It will only stretch so far before it snaps
I don't really
back.
remember much of this,
The
but
further it is stretched, the more violent the eventual correction.
do you remember thinking this was like this was quite cool? No. I kind of remember the details of the book, but here. You seemed passionate about it.
Bakonu, the author, had some interesting theories about man's perception of reality that I thought could be applied to our attempts to decipher the plan. Unfortunately, he was also one of the founders of the Philosophist school of thought, so the book is banned in this colony.
Yeah, and the philosophists are like, you know, if the plan is there's an order to the universe, everything is ordered and planned. The philosophists were the chaotic believers, I suppose.
Philosophism's a false religion that stands in contradiction to almost everything we know to be true.
Notice that we know to
They
be true.
believe all is chaos, in stark contrast to OSI's belief in the plan. But most of the philosophist perversion of Bakonu's thoughts came more than a century after his death.
Yeah. Any ideas where we can find someone who speaks fucking French on the colony?
I've been thinking on that. There's a former infamous philosophist scholar who fled Terra 2 some years ago.
Yeah, you never
He's
knew
an
him.
expert on Bakonu. He's also who told me of the journal's presence in Emerald Vale. If anyone in this colony could translate that book, it would be him.
Interesting. Yeah, how do we find him?
That's a good question.
Yeah, okay.
We should start on the Groundbreaker. It's where I'd go if I wanted to get off Terra 2. Great place to pick up a ride to Hephaestus, Scylla, even Monarch. All I need is access to a data cartridge from the security terminal. Their easily hackable system keeps a registry of all crew manifests for both arrivals and departures.
Yeah, I think I get where you're going with this, but how did you get those skills exactly? Like, I get like there is some, you know, the plan entails some kind of scientific knowledge for its vicars, and there's so much of a part of like computers and equations, but like that seems a little much.
Before I transferred to Edgewater, I had a wealth of time to develop certain secular skills during my years serving a particular penitentiary flock.
Yeah, Max is great.
I meditated, led sermons, provided guidance to the inmates as needed, of course. I also played prison yard tossball and taught myself a bit about computronic security systems.
Alright, let's do it.
Thank you, Captain.
Alright, so we got that quest updated. I forgot we even needed to do that, so glad we did take the time to talk to Max now. I love Max. I think, like, the little individual bits of, like, philosophy they brought in with, like, the plan versus the philosophist is, I think, interesting. But yeah, I mean, we'll get more into it later. Max's quest is a lot about that, but I think it's a really cool way of just kind of exploring the universe, and I think it's a pretty...
Our respecification machine.
Ah.
Alex installed it himself right before he died.
Rip. But yeah, I think it's a pretty cool, like, way to create essentially a religion or opposing religions. Maybe not entirely novel. I'm sure other people have done that, but hey, I thought it was cool. I need to drink some water, then we'll talk to Parvati. Parvati. La.
Have you ever seen such a beautiful engine? She's a custom specification.
She seems pretty dangerous.
I could probably spend years fixing this boat, stem to stern.
Yeah, it's not in great shape. Yeah. I don't know, did you learn the trade from your father? It did seem like he was an engineer, yeah.
Mostly, yeah. I lived in the maintenance office near all my life. Mr. Thompson never let me forget how funny that was.
What a swell guy. Yeah, he did seem to have it in for you a little.
I'm not exactly a model employee. Not like you wanted.
Yeah,
Kind
people
that
are
stays
just
quiet,
gears.
Gets the right work done in the right order every day.
Ah.
It's not normal.
Such
for
a
anyone
sympathetic
to
view of
leave
humanity.
maintenance. You take a vocational test. That decides your schooling and your career. When I tested out for maintenance, everyone figured it was on account of my dad. They were real unhappy with us.
I'm just like assuming like your dad might teach you. You might pick up certain skills from your employment or from your childhood and like your parents. And then that in turn kind of determines the intelligence and like the skills you develop. Just a thought. Crazy. Yeah, you're good at this.
Well,
Exactly.
didn't make
As I
things
was
work the
saying,
way
but
they ought.
more concise.
Not so much at doing such to somebody else's schedule. There's times I'm working deep in the guts of a loader, getting it all running perfect. Then I look up to see it's tomorrow, and I've blown another deadline. Anyhow, I was happy to get back home. I didn't care much for schooling.
Yeah, you went, yeah. Oh, I must have missed the part about that she left for schooling. But yeah, you moved straight back to Edgewater?
Yep, nothing much had changed. Everything was a little grayer, a little dirtier. Dad met me at the shuttle and gave me a big ol' hug. I noticed straight away that he was moving slower and stiffer. He made a little grunt when I squeezed.
Truly sorry about that.
Oh, I miss him, sure enough. But he's a fond memory. I was right beside him when he passed, holding his hand. Talking about him makes me smile.
That's a good perspective to
Dad
have.
said that he loved me, you know? I knew on account of him showing it. How he'd stay up late to help with my projects or listen to my fretting. Oh gosh, look at the time. Sorry to bend your ears so long. And I got so much to do before this ship's in decent shape.
Yeah, there's different ways of expressing love. Perhaps not all equally valid, but all worth at least something to someone. Alright, let's just check some stuff. That'll be Max's gear. We do have Max available. Alright. Congratulations. Look, is it a great look? No. Plus 10 hack. Oh my god, I would like that. I would like that. But no, we gotta... I think we gotta go with the base health. And we'll probably, I guess, we're gonna go with the armor rating this time they get a perk. I know, like... far from the most... far from the most exciting perk choices, but I just need them to not die. There's a real argument for threat generated, but I mean, I don't want them shooting at me instead, necessarily. Here, we'll actually tinker with Max's armor. 1, 2, 3. We'll keep it at 3 for now. That's interesting. It seems to... like, level up naturally. I don't know why. Honest to God, I don't know why. Though I actually will like to keep Max's stuff. Because, I mean, I wouldn't mind dialogue skills. Thank you. Very kindly. Yeah, bizarre, but... and then, once again, we want him with this. We're gonna need to set these before we forget. Ranged and aggressive. Max's power is very cool, and we're going to be using it. Parvati's brings her real close in. Max's doesn't, so we can actually use it. I mean, I might show you Parvati's one time, just to show it. In like a safer combat encounter. I probably should have done that before, but Max's we can use. And Max's, oh boy, it's fun. Yeah, let's get to the groundbreaker. Oh.
Breaker has approved our request for docking, Captain. You're free to disembark.
Alright. Man, I would like a better suit of armor. Alright, let's eat up and then we're gonna go. Actually, that's a lie.
Can we chat?
Oh, Jesus. Alright, no, give me a second. Oh, I don't mean to, like... be rude to you or anything, but... Alright, Max's assault rifle. 1, 2, 3, and then modify. We're gonna give it a plasma upgrade. Alright, exciting. Alright, we can chat, yeah, no problem.
Hey, Captain. I heard that Groundbreaker's got a real good engineer. A lady named Junlei Tennyson?
Yeah, what about her?
I was thinking that maybe I ought to meet her. If you got time to swing us by, I mean.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
don't got much experience fixing actual spaceships. I bet you a can of Borston beans she could teach me all manner of stuff.
Not a problem.
Thanks, Captain. I'll be sure to make it worth your time.
Not a problem.
Did you want to talk about something else?
Nope, we're good. Let's head out. Exciting. We're actually moving on. Alright, yeah. Parvati and Vicar Max. Just, the armor's so ugly. I'm sorry. It's so ugly. But look, survive. Look here. You know, you might want them to be better, like personified, and see their personalities clearer in a different set of armor. But in response, I say to you, wouldn't you prefer to see their personalities at all? You know, where they don't die? Just a thought. God, yeah, it's clunky to say the least, though.
Smells like grease and unwashed bodies. Just as I remembered.
Yeah, it's got a certain whiff to it.
That's not the point. This halfwit just knocked out one of my workers.
Based.
Yeah, with a toss-ball stick, I heard you the first time. There weren't any witnesses.
No witnesses. He's not even denying it.
Jackass had it coming.
Shut it, Felix. You're not making this any better.
You get cute with me again, you little back bay brat, I will toss you out an airlock.
This is the Groundbreaker, not Byzantium. You ain't the law here. I am. Now move along.
I don't have time for this. I need a drink.
What was that about?
Going for a stroll around the docking base?
Basically. Yeah. What was that about?
Sure was. Got a knack for upsetting the board and the Mardettes all at once.
Based.
Between you and me, I was hoping they'd come to fisticuffs.
Yeah, what happened?
I had this foreman, right?
Mm-hmm.
Guy never liked me, always trying to get a rise out of me. But I keep my chin up, right? Be the bigger man, I tell myself. He's a Spacer's chosen man, though. So when the Chosen beat my Rangers the other night,
It's not the best.
my
Oh,
foreman
never mind.
comes
It's not the
swaggering
best
up
choice.
with his
It's
head full of
Spacer's
boasting.
choice. Yeah, and that's when you resolved your differences like an adult, right? Over a sporting match.
That's when I broadsided him with a tossball stick. Yeah.
Or that.
Look, this was a long time coming. Guy thinks he can push me around because he's some sky-high foreman, and I'm just a back bay's dock.
Now that's a genuine grievance, yeah.
Well, former dock worker. Guess I just tendered my resignation.
Yeah, that's rough. Yeah, what you gonna do?
Enjoy my freedom. Scrounged together enough bits for a 0G. Other than that, can't say as I do. Hey, not for nothing, but I saw you wander out of that ship over there by the dock. Wouldn't happen to be yours, would it?
Nah, I'm just inspecting it.
Captain of the Unreliable. You're like something out of a serial drama.
Thank you.
Hey, I don't
I
want
do
to talk
consider
your ears off,
myself
guessing you got
quite the
places to be.
swashbuckler.
I appreciate your time.
Thank you, Felix. Yeah, I'm Karl Marx. Keep that name in mind, buddy.
Felix Millstone. Pleased to make your acquaintance. See you around, boss.
Yeah, I'm Karl Marx. Nice job hitting your foreman. Let's talk to Marday. Or no, just Marday is a position, right? He literally, Spencer, he literally just told you that. Steve Door, yeah, that seems to be a job too. Let's see. Is there any? Oh, we forgot to ask Ada about that. We'll do that in a second. The guard right there. But yeah, it's right. Okay, it's real close. It's real close. There's our guy. Alright, let's see what the vending machines have. We'll scroll down to the good stuff. Marked is out. Man, they are selling those at a upscale cost, to say the least. It does look a lot better, and I can't afford it. Do also need some water. Yeah, debatably we should, you know, sell to like... There we go, that's a little better. You know what, here. Sorry, I'm just doing some fashion management, pay me no mind. Yeah, that matches a little better. Alright, we're gonna want to upgrade that soon. But it's got a little bit of a better something, you know? You know, I would not mind that to put on the assault rifle. The tactical shotgun's a good time, actually. That might be worthwhile. But I don't think we need it yet. Yeah, we're gonna see if we can save money here. Hello?
Identification, please.
Captain the Unreliable.
Captain Hawthorne, you said.
That'll be me.
Let me apologize in advance. I'm about to ruin your day.
At least you're polite about
According
it.
to your ship's record, you've been flagged by the board. Your ship will be impounded until such a time as they see fit to lift it.
What did I do?
We've hardly been out of Edgewater long enough to get in trouble.
Exactly.
Well, isn't this wonderful? The captain's done something to get on the board's bad
What
side.
have I done?
Now, hold on. This isn't the end of the world. Probably.
Hi, yeah, how do I get this resolved?
You'll want to take it up with Udom Bedford, our board
Oh.
representative here on Groundbreaker.
I know that name.
His office is located along the starboard wall of the promenade. Shines like a Byzantium commode. You can't miss it.
Yeah. Do you have any idea why it was impounded?
Access to that information is above my pay grade.
Yeah, it usually
and
is.
I've turned down 3 promotions, so it stays that way. I shouldn't be mentioning it, but what the hell? This here, impounding your ship, it doesn't happen much. The board knows we don't take kindly to their interfering in our operations. If I had to take a guess as to why, you must have riled up someone important.
By which, probably Phineas riled up someone important. Yeah, I'll go talk to him and straighten this out.
You take the starch out of him, well, you won't hear any complaints from me.
Yeah, I have something of a silver
and if you're
tongue.
headed that way, would you mind doing me a
Well,
favor?
I used to. Yeah.
Wanda Dorset over in sickbay. Tell her the shipment's not in yet. It's not coming in anytime soon, and if she'd be so obliged to get off my ass about it.
Alright, fair. What's her shipment?
A handful of SAM cleaning units retrofitted for surgery. I don't know much else. I stopped listening when she started yelling.
Decent policy. I got it. I'll talk to her.
Much appreciated. Is there anything else I can help you with?
I think that'll be all. Thank you. No, never mind. I'm looking... No, actually, there's a bunch of stuff you can help me with. I'm looking for someone named Gladys.
The fence. You'll find her in the rest and go. On your left when you enter the promenade.
Thank you.
Make sure you bring an empty belly.
Yeah, what about a job?
Maybe. Most of the shipping traffic in the system passes through Groundbreaker. Every couple of months, we even get a big interstellar freighter. 2 biggest operations are the board. That is, Halcyon Holdings and Sublight Salvage. But there are independent operators around the promenade deck. Most of those jobs are going to take you off station, though.
Yeah, something, since I'm stuck here, you know, something a little more local.
Commandant Sanita might have a couple of folks she needs killed. Bad folks, I mean. Not regular folks. She'll be at the security desk behind me.
Yeah, that's an important
Chief
distinction.
might have an errand needs running. She's all tied up trying to fix our heat problem. You'll find her in engineering.
No kidding? I'd love to get a look at this old girl's innards. I bet they're real twisty and weird. In a good way.
Something long-term, yeah?
If you're thinking to make a career here, don't waste your time.
Yeah, I figured.
Full-time jobs on Groundbreaker tend to be inherited, or go to a fellow crew member's kid. Keep it in the family, you know.
Roll Tide. Yeah, what about... Tell me about Halcyon Holdings.
Are you pulling my leg?
I'm new here.
You must be one of them long-haul freighters from outside the colony. Well, I won't hold it against you. Goes like this. Back on Earth, before the crossing, the powers that be were selling off stakes in distant star systems they thought had potential. A bunch of companies decided to throw in together and form the Halcyon Holdings Corporation, then buy up the rights to this here colony. That group's what we now call the board.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, the board runs most of the system.
Yep. Groundbreaker's the only real independent port. Aside from us, there's just tramp freighters and wildcat miners. Seems like every year the board's offices get bigger and their ships take up more of the landing bays. Haven't seen nearly as many tramp crews this year.
Yeah, it tends to go that way. Yeah, what about Groundbreaker? You said it was independent?
Groundbreaker was one of the original colony
Oh,
vessels
like
to
the
come over on
Hope.
crossing,
Yeah, yeah.
a few years before her
Okay,
sister
okay,
ship,
I
the
remember
Hope.
this.
Once everybody been de-thawed and
Oh,
dropped
okay.
dirtside, the original crew of the Groundbreaker decided they rather liked the spacefaring life. I guess that was the start of our independent spirit. Now, here we are.
Yeah.
Glad to help.
I remember a fair bit about the game, but not, like, everything. Also, I might play along just a little bit, you know. Keep it fresh.
They strip the parts from derelict ships and abandoned outposts. There's some that say they make the derelicts and encourage folks to abandon their steads.
Oh, wow.
Sublight gives me the creeps. I've known folks who went to work for them and just vanished. They're on the promenade run by a woman named Lilia Hagen. I'm only telling you so you know to avoid them.
I'm definitely gonna check them out. That seems interesting.
Relative to the board holdings? Not really. But there's a few with the means to go where they will. They aren't rich, but they aren't likely to look too close at your work history either.
Ideal. Alright, thank you.
All right.
I can kind of guess at that. I'm assuming an independent contractor, the board who's trying to kind of monopolize the entire system. Gonna be some tension. Yeah, what about Udam?
He's friendly enough unless you speak ill of the board.
What?
Get the
Me?
sense he doesn't care for Groundbreaker much. Not that he would, being a board man and all. He's our liaison.
Yeah, sounds like a great guy.
Really likes his cereals, too. Maybe a little too much. Bit of a weird bird, all told.
Don't see what's so wrong about liking cereals. They're fun.
Udam takes it to an, unhealthy level.
Yeah, I've seen a little bit of that. Alright,
Be seeing you.
I'll see you around. Yeah, I am gonna be doing a lot of the conversations. That was probably pretty clear from the first little section, but let's just establish that at the start. I think it's fun.
This is it. Security. I can check the departures register to find out which crew the Scholar, shipped in and out with.
And what could his name possibly be?
I picked up this weird signal the other day. It was...
Alright, we're gonna tinker with Parvati's new armor. We want to get that sold. Or preferably stored in the ship. 1, 2, 3. We'll probably do it another time, but... Look. Oh, never mind, my ship's impounded. I cannot get back. That's right. Alright, we gotta figure out this max thing then. We gotta get in, which means stealth mission, baby. Which means you two.
Alright, I'm on my way.
How do I switch which one of you I
I'll
wanna...
make my way there.
It seems like you're both kind of doing it.
I'm going.
The basic gist is I need you to stay there for the moment. Lovely.
Be right there.
Well, maybe I can bring them with me. I don't super remember how this works. It's really movement that messes it up.
Keep your sights out, friend.
No need to risk that. Okay, greed. That's stealth skills. Oh, we don't have the lockpicking one anymore. I bet we could have saved another. That'll haunt me to the end of my days. Alright. That was not where we needed to go, but hey, I just refreshed it. That was totally what I intended to do. You dare question me? Okay, he's going away. Alright, quickly do this. Go, 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 go.
There it is. Just yank the drive, and I'll do the rest.
Oh, there's some confiscated goods. Sublight put a bid on one of our impounds. Generous won 2, negotiate for the usual finder's fee, and then give Lilia her salvage. Brawl at the Lost Hope, Freelancers vs. Board, Freelancers won. Arrested a freighter captain with more bits than brain. Hawthorne ship impounded by Board, order of Udom Bedford. Still no clue why Hawthorne's associates with that Board snake. A guy from the back base roughed up the Moon Kid, raving mad. Warned me that the moon was going to bring about the end times. He was flying high on whatever mech red grows down there. Got a sworn testimony that McRed was spotted at the rest and go. Not that anyone will corroborate it. Reminder to keep an eye on Gladys.
Now that we have the data cartridge, I can finally find out where that scholar I'm looking for ended up.
Confiscated goods. Yeah. Alright, we're gonna refresh this. And then we're gonna try to get us some confiscated goods, which means you two can just stay over there. Do-do-do. Ignore me, I present no threat. He's opening that, yep, just be prepared for it. Just standing guard. Fuck the boss, am I right? Safety inspection, you know how it is. I'm just gonna walk out. You know, do my rounds still. Oh. Oh. Awesome. Alright, that's dope. I am happy to have that. Alright.
Be right there.
Get over here, guys. We did Max's thing. We can take care of that another time. But actually, I think this is a decent time to call it for this episode. So I'm gonna stop the recording, and I will see all of you next time with some exciting stuff, I'm sure.